Da-da-da! Still got it, baby! Which is actually a very big surprise for me. Kanban board, baby! Howdy, y'all. I'm Anna with Always Right, and welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas. Today's video is gonna be breaking down my outrageous 2024 goals into achievable, bite-sized pieces, and we're gonna be doing that with Kanban board. I'm surprised I was able to easily find this. So if you have heard of Kanban boards, if you're interested in them, just know you don't have to be super artistic. They don't have to be super expensive. This is like a $15, $20 frame from Walmart. And the paper that's in it is the free piece of paper that came in it, you know, with like the price and the display, flipped over and written on. Admittedly, I didn't do a great job breaking down the dimensions when I first created it. As you can see, I was very optimistic in my completion and not so much in my actual goals. So it's gonna be a bit messy, but that's okay. Anyway, let's get into it. As you can see, it has writing, work, and personal here. I don't have any goals that are technically work related, so I'm gonna put like working on my house, you know, working on my Etsy, put that here. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you do not know what my goals are, I will be kind of skimming over them. I will have the goal video itself for the 2024 goals in total linked below. It's a very short video. So first kind of goals we're gonna go through are channel goals, which I'm going to consider somewhere in between like work and personal. One of my first channel goals was to upload once a month. As you can tell, January covered. But I also wanted to add kind of a caveat. I watched a video recently by Anna New. She went over 10 tips to write a book for 2024. And one of the tips she mentioned was actually like to record yourself every week as like an accountability check. And that was super fascinating to me. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to do weekly recordings. Doesn't have to be weekly videos, but definitely weekly recordings for my YouTube channel. And it may just be like a conglomerate huge video at the end of the month. It may be weekly vlog updates. I don't really know at this point. I wanna try it. I wanna see how it works out. My goal, I'm actually gonna write down, is try weekly accountability vlogs. I would dare say that this is more of a writing goal. It's like in between writing and work. So I'm gonna put it right here. This is gonna get messy. You're shocked. Actually, if I was smart, I'm gonna put it down here. There. That way I can build up instead of like trying to build down. I guess, I do this every time. There's a reason I have backup pens. Continuing with that goal of posting every month, I am going to put a February. Did I spell that right? February. Yeah, I didn't spell it right. I'll add an R. February video, and then a March video, because a quarter is 3 months. That would be January, February, March. So I'm gonna consider this much more of a like personal goal. And then a March, I can spell that one, video. I guess I could do it like this since the February one's gonna come well before the March one. One of my other channel goals was to read and review more writing craft books. So I do need to read and review one craft book this quarter, and that's a YouTube. It's also kind of like a writing, so she's gonna go kind of in this area here. There. Oh, and then my last kind of personal goal is to finish the 12 days of Christmas videos. I think I have 2 left that I need to really record and do, so I feel like I'm really making progress. I'm really close to the end. And I'm gonna put that over the February goal because I better finish that before February. Next up are my personal goals. And the very first personal goal I really talked about in my big video was having 200 live listings on Etsy. Right now I'm at 149. I think 250 is a much more reasonable annual goal. So I'm kind of making that like correction in this video that I want to have 250 live listings, not just 200. To achieve the 250 live listings, I'm basically gonna break the goals down into kind of incremental goals, such as has 165 live listings, 180 live listings, 195. 15 new listings is very achievable in a day, and I definitely have the inventory for it. That is not the problem. My final goal for this quarter is going to have 195 live listings. And so I'm going to put that kind of at the bottom, like I did over here for the March, February, and 12 days. And so I'm gonna build backwards, if that makes sense. Helps if I put it on straight, right? And my last kind of Etsy personal goal is to record all of my recent inventory purchases. I'm gonna put it over the 165 listings because I know that this is about to get filled with my house. So I'm gonna move over to blue because we're gonna be talking about my goals and like my little bite-sized achievements, bite-sized tasks I need to work on to complete my house and move into my house. So the very bottom one is gonna be move into house. And I don't really know where it's gonna fit. I think I'm gonna put it right here. So, yeah, dropped it already. Here's the bottom, baby, if you know what I mean. There are so many steps. I have 7 different steps just for like my personal house. The last step is gonna be finish painting walls. Walls, especially like the cosmetic side of like painting them, are almost always gonna be the last step you do. I did start painting in the house when I first bought it because it was something I could do, it was something achievable. And I don't regret it because those rooms that I painted are rooms that aren't having anything done to them. Next is finish painting ceilings. Every surface in that house when I bought it was beige. The ceilings and the walls and the trim were the exact same shade of beige. Next, in the reverse order, I need to order for my master suite to be installed. And that sounds like really silly, like it would just like fit into place. I'm basically building a new closet and expanding a bathroom, and that's pretty much all I'm doing. It's not too bad. The plumbing is going to be done for it by the time I get here. It's just the walls that I need done. The step before that is going to be ordering tiles. This is going to be like my floors. So my next step should probably be a little higher up in the list, as in it should probably be number 2 instead of number 3. But anyway, it is to order my bookcase. I am having a wall at that house turned into like a custom bookcase, custom cabinetry. So I gotta get it ordered because that does take a hot second. My next thing, and it's actually gonna be moved immediately into the action one, is finalize architect plans. I am working with my architect. We are at the very end of rebuilding this master suite, restructuring the kitchen. So it's gonna go in the action because I plan on getting that done this week. And that's what the action tab should be used for. It should be used for items that you're taking action on in the next few days or the next week. And my next house one, to order doors. And I did just move this YouTube tag down to the action. It is finish the 12 Days of Christmas series. So since we're actually doing that like right now, she gets to be in the action item. Like she will soon be down here. That's it for the house. I mean, I say as it's quite a bit of stuff. Let's talk about the last section on my personal goals, and that is to work on my mental health. And I have a few things outlined for my mental health. One of them is to actually get back into soap making. I used to do soap making and I absolutely loved it. I got really good at it. I still have all the supplies. It really relieves my stress. It gives me just kind of a period where I can focus on numbers, focus on some science, and listen to an audiobook. I love it. It lets me just be in my own little world. So I really want to get back into soap making. Kind of in line with this is I do want to set up a little display to sell my soaps. One of the things I mentioned in my 2024 goals video is that I want to get back into gardening. I'm going to start a new garden at my new house. I have the seeds, so it's not going to be any expense for me. I'm just going to have to go over there one day, you know, work with the soil, God forbid, be outside. That's all my personal goals. Now we're on to reading goals. So my overall annual reading goal is 30 books. I want to read 20 of those books physically, and I want to read a lot of books that I own. I'm not doing that insane challenge of only reading from my personal library, even though I probably should. How I'm gonna break that 30 book goal down, instead of being like read a book, read a book, read a book, read a book, like I did, I think the last time I did this Kanban, is I'm just gonna set out like monthly goals. And we're gonna go in reverse order again, that way we can kind of layer it and it'll look cute and it won't take up too much room. March, I wanna read 3 books. I think that's very achievable. I am trying to kind of front load my reading here by doing a lot of reading, obviously, at the beginning of the year. I learned how to spell February, 3 in February and 4 in January. I think these are very achievable, especially with me wanting to get back into soap making and wanting to get into gardening again. These are 2 activities that pair beautifully with audiobooks. Finally, pink. You know it. Oh God, I dropped it. Writing, that's right. We have pretty much left this section abandoned. So it's time we filter up. My overall goal for 2024 is to write 4 drafts. I want to write 2 first drafts and then 2 second drafts, or like a second and a third, whatever. I'm not that picky. At the end of the year, I just want to be able to say I wrote 4 drafts. My true goal is to write my fantasy book by like the end of February / the first few days of March. I broke it down. That's about 8 weeks of writing. And at 90,000 words, that brings the 8 weeks in at 11,250 words a week, or about 1,600 words a day. And I know 1,600 words a day for essentially 2 months is a lot. That's almost exactly like Nano. I really think if I break it down, if I push myself, if I just do it, I can do it, if that makes sense. So I broke down the goals into completing Act 1, 30,000 words, midpoint turn, 60,000 words, 75,000 words, and then completing the novel. And once again, I seem to have broken it down into increments of 15, only this time 15,000. Let me stack these up right here. It'll be just like, ta-da, magic. So essentially, this first draft is a huge chunky goal. And I'm gonna go ahead and move the complete Act 1 to the action. And I'm not done with my writing goals. I know, you thought. My second writing goal for 2024 was essentially to complete 2 outlines for these 2 series I've have in the back of my mind that are kind of bothering me, if you will. And I want to complete the outline for this fantasy book series. It's supposed to be like a 3-book series, pretty plain, pretty simple. So I will have, book 1 completely done. I need to outline for book 2 and 3, and these will probably be done in March, let's be honest. So let me switch batteries and put these on and we'll be good to go. There we go. I think this is very achievable for 3 months. I am establishing a new rhythm and I'm establishing a new me. I'm trying to create a future for myself that I would be proud of and that I will like. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Let me know if you've done a Kanban board before, or if you just do like bullet journals, or I don't know. I'm really curious. I can't do bullet journals. I've tried it twice. It's not my flavor. I hope to see y'all in the next one. And as always, let's get writing. Bye. Okay, where do I put this? I don't know. Wait, it might actually work here. I don't know, I kind of like it. Love that. You're getting promoted to not there.